Benvenuti in questa nuova live, io sono Tony86, iscrivetevi, commentate, condividete, in bio trovate gli altri canali, TikTok e YouTube. Oggi continuiamo The Outer Worlds con 2 react finali, quindi iniziamo con il giochino.
Would you like Sam to tidy up this area? Waiting for confirmation command. Confirmation command not received. Entering quiet mode. It is clean, and ready to kill germs. Fight dirty. Clean up the competition. Invasive contaminants detected. Good news, customer. All germs and contaminants have been neutralized. Caution! Incoming toasted.
Che sfilza di cadaveri.
Body bag required. Oh, good job.
Polverizzati tutti, andiamo avanti.
Area filth level assessment. Disgusting! Preparing to neutralize and sanitize. Cleaning cycle complete. Warning, customer, you appear to be leaking. Resistance to cleaning efforts.
Bisogna rubare tutto.
Muting volume now. Invasive contaminants detected. Sour prejudice. Wrong tool for the job. Good news, customer. All germs and contaminants have been neutralized.
Get in there, troops. For Monarch. For Halcyon. Clean, mean, and ready to kill germs. Job classification. Flawlessly finished.
take out the trash. Clean up the competition. The gears. Muting volume now. Hands on the job. You made it dirty. Sam corpse detected. Sanitation and maintenance job fulfilled. Take out the trash. Body bag required. difficult job ahead? Consider equipping a pack of Sam's special solvent stain out remover. It's ruthless on residual.
You know, I could have sworn I tested you for hearing loss. Because I did say skip the Hope to Terra 2. Terra 2, not Tartarus. We could have saved this colony, you know. That was always the plan. I revive you, you do as I say. I tell you to go there, get me this, shoot that, and you
La
do
vita è
as I
mia,
say.
stronzo.
If you'd just listened to me, we could have rescued everyone on the Hope. We could have been the saviors of Halcyon. But you didn't listen. No one in this damn colony ever listens. Ha! No, of course not. You're the board's lackey now. And isn't that just paying dividends? What did they tempt you with, hmm? Power? Money? One of those fancy reclining chairs? Calm down. Huh? I can't calm down. I won't calm down. Calm is the enemy of lucidity. Nothing clears the mind like sheer, gibbering desperation. This is how the board operates. It's not enough that they should win. They must see me fail. Well, I've got Adjutant Akande here with me. No, it won't change anything. We're plunging headlong into oblivion now, you and I. Killing Akande. Well, if you insist on interfering... I don't, you backbiting double-cross... I've programmed the Labyrinth's mechanical warden to kill you on sight. I'm sorry to have to do this. You were my great...
Caution! Infestation encroaching! Substance is resistant to cleaning efforts.
Dai, dai. Eish. Aia. Oh. No, non inizio da capo. E vai giù. Pezzo di merda.
Thank the law you're here. That madman was out of control. You were right to put him down. He was too far gone to be of any use to us.
C'ha
And what
ragione.
about you? You aren't hurt, I hope. I'm not hurt. Well, except for my pride. I can't
Abbiamo avuto
believe
meglio
that
se tu-
lunatic got the better of me. You've put down the worst riot in our history. We don't... We've lost all contact with Earth. Yes, we do have a long road ahead of us. You're the... It's tough. I'm pleased to hear that. We're on...
Quindi, finito così?
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course
Corso
of
della
history.
storia.
The riots in Tartarus ended in a total victory for the Board. Without any significant threats to challenge their power, the Board asserted their control over the colony. The lifetime employment program began immediately,
Ok.
and the people of Halcyon did exactly what they were expected to do. They obeyed. Sophia Akande converted the labyrinth from a prison to a processing center. She jettisoned the original colonists out of the Hope and transformed the ship into a massive storage facility. One by one, the
Poi
workers of
come faccio
Halcyon
anche
surrendered
verso
themselves to the
loro
program.
di stasi.
They arrived with their families and their friends, their colleagues and their neighbors. And then, one by one, they marched into their stasis chambers. As the workers of Halcyon slept in their hibernation chambers, their settlements became ghost towns, left behind by the Board to be reclaimed by nature. Only Byzantium
Tutti
remained,
ibernati.
a shining beacon of civilization in an otherwise abandoned colony. The people of Byzantium spent the rest of their days gorging themselves on their stockpile of resources. As for the workers of Halcyon, they never felt the effects of the collapse. They never felt anything at all. With the Board shuttering many of its smaller townships, Graham was never able to spread his ideals to Byzantium. On Monarch, however, the iconoclast movement swelled, forming the colony's hotbed of philosophical thought and freedom, a consistent counterpoint to the Board's capitalist regime. Or so they viewed themselves, at least. The Byzantium elite find it endearing that those anarchistic hoopleheads are still allowed to breathe
L'aria di
Halcyon
Alcione,
air.
ok, quindi in pratica...
Without Lilia Hagen, Sublight Salvage fell apart.
Beh,
The
sapevo di
company
soldi.
fractured, devolving into a series of unregulated criminal
Dimenticato.
gangs, fences, and smugglers. Their facade of
Molti
legitimacy
bernati,
quickly
quelli su
faded.
Monarca sono
In time,
rimasti.
the Sublight family
Un grano.
was forgotten. Edgewater's cannery met its production quota for the first time in 3 years. As a result, the adjutant rewarded every worker in Edgewater
Perfetto, ok.
with a place in the Lifetime Employment Program. Reed Dobson was granted 25 years in suspended animation. However, a computing error adjusted his duration to 250 years. A trouble ticket to resolve this error remains open. While the groundbreaker remained mechanically stable, the changing times forced Junmei Tennyson to make some difficult calls on behalf of her community. The work of maintaining independence was an uphill climb, and she found herself caving to bad faith
Ok,
compromises
quindi
with the board.
la meccanica
Time will
Tennyson.
tell if the groundbreaker can endure.
Non hanno ascoltato,
As
ma
smaller settlements were swallowed up and their workers drafted into the Lifetime Employment Program, Byzantium continued to thrive. While its citizens lived in decadence and extravagance, a small cadre of scientists worked to solve the nutrition crisis that threatened Halcyon. No one else much noticed the
Ma
towns
mangiare quei
that
cosi, no?
disappeared from the map, or the luxuries that slowly lost their luster year by year. Though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. She seemed to prefer the company of Ada to the crew, and she could often be
ok,
found neck deep in
Parvati
cables and grease, telling Ada
si è
funny
adeguata alla
stories
vita
from
della
her
nave con
childhood.
la
As the
nave.
board began to roll out their Lifetime Employment Program, Parvati was plagued by dreams of freezing to death. She began taking increasingly longer shore leaves, and she eventually disappeared from the Unreliable entirely. The board never knew
Ok,
what
lei se n'è
became of her,
scappata.
and under
Se
the
stessa è
adjutant's
rimasta.
orders, they never tried to find out. Parvati was afforded a measure of peace and left to her own devices. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide or
Ok,
just
lei è
looking
tornata
to
su
throw back
Monarca.
a beer and swap stories could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony.
Ah, a
This
posto.
led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose
Okay.
and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into help. Adjutant Sophia Akande
Sofia-
was instrumental in executing the
Ok.
lifetime employment. While the rest
Mi
of
sa festeggiato
Byzantium
sui 6 mesi
celebrated,
al lavoro collaborando
Sophia
con
returned
te.
to
Il
work
vostro
by
impegno
partnering
permise
with
dal
you.
programma di impegno
The
perpetuo di
two of you
procedere
worked
senza
hard to ensure
inconvenienti.
that, with Halcyon's
Lavoratori
workers
di Alcione
suspended in a
spiegano
state of
se
hibernation,
fame a
starvation
caso
and chaos are
pesante.
problems of the past.
Ma è
The
successo
Lifetime
a
Employment
caro
Program
prezzo.
succeeded in it. The
Il
Halcyon
giorno di
of
oggi è
today is
diverso dalla
nothing at
colonna dei
all
giorni
like
che
the
fu. Poter
colony of
rimane
yesteryear.
avanza tutte le risorse della
Power
colonna.
remains concentrated in Byzantium. And what about you?
7.
The
La variabile
unplanned
impazzita nella
variable
storia
in the
di
history of
Alcione.
Halcyon. After the riots on Tartarus came to an end,
Permise
you
ai
threw
loro
in your
scienziati di lavorare
support with
senza le
Sophia Akande.
ingerenze della burocrazia.
No one knows what's
È successo alla
happened to her,
Terra e nessuno sa
and
cosa
no one knows
riserva
what the
futura
future.
qui la live. Penso siamo arrivati alla fine di The Outer Worlds, il primo capitolo. Poi vedo come fare i 2 contenuti extra. Iscrivetevi, commentate, condividete. Penso che le react finali non le faccio perché siamo arrivati a un'ora abbastanza abbondante. Le facciamo domani. Come sempre, iscrivetevi, commentate, condividete e ci vediamo domani con una nuova live di The Outer Worlds e le 2 react che ho messo da parte.